This is a special presentation of WAAY 31 Sports. Football is back.
It's the McCurry Big Game Friday night. Hello, Alabama, find a comfortable spot. We got high school football and it's coming out hot. Now here we are and the lights are shining bright. We've always been. Yeah, WAAY 31 is rocking all right. With Nolan, Lyndon, Max, and Antonio. It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
A city rivalry with 4A Region 7 implications on the line between Madison Academy and Randolph in our game of the week.
Well, in our rivalry game of the week, it's a region showdown between two of the best teams in 6A Region 8. Athens and Hartselle battled tonight. Hello and welcome in to Big Game Friday night, everyone. I'm Nolan Knight here with Max Cohan, and week 6 of the high school football season is already here. And it's been a lot of fun so far.
We're in the thick of regional play. It doesn't get much better than this until we get to the playoffs, but things are looking pretty good right now.
Of course, let's go ahead and dive into the busy night of high school football and begin with our Big Game Friday night game of the week between undefeated Randolph and Madison Academy. Max, you had us covered for this one. Let's see how it played out.
Out at Madison Academy, it's the Mustangs hosting the Randolph Raiders in a battle for the top spot in the 4A Region 7 standings. The Mustangs get the chains moving first. Carson Crehan hits William Bergreen, who gets to the sideline and tries tiptoeing his way in, but the officials say he stepped out at the 6. So in the red zone, they give the ball to their workhorse. Will Stokes shakes and bakes as he gets close to the goal line, just barely getting the ball across as the Mustangs go up 7-zip. Then Randolph put together a solid drive, but they face 4th and long and decided to go for it. The play falls apart, but Andrew Hunter handles it himself, 18 yards to keep the drive alive. The Raiders would settle for a field goal to make it 7-3. Then their defense would make a stand, and the Raiders would roll right down the field and take the lead on a Hunter keeper. Now Randolph holds a 10-7 advantage. But that wouldn't last long. When Will Stokes is open, it's almost always trouble. The senior makes the catch and a cut, and that's all she wrote. The Mustangs charge back in front 14-10. Hunter would throw a pick on the next possession, and Madison Academy was right back in scoring position. You guessed it, Stokes again on the carry, and he is elusive. His 3rd score of the first half puts the Mustangs up 21-10. They'd get the ball back just before the half, setting up a Catch of the Year candidate. Crehan lets one rip to Bergreen, and somehow he comes down with it, but the Mustangs can't capitalize there, taking the 21-10 lead into the half.
So a big win for Madison Academy, 42-16 the final tonight, and it was a playoff atmosphere out there tonight, wasn't it, Max?
Absolutely, you said it. Both teams knew the implications in this one were huge for the region title and the playoffs, and while the final score might not show it, it was a very tight game early on. After the win, I caught up with Mustangs head coach Bob Gotze about how much the momentum of this game carries over and how valuable his running back is to their offense.
I hope a bunch, I'm just proud of our guys, how much progress we've made really over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I just hope that continues. I was proud of we faced some adversity there early. Things weren't necessarily great, and we just kept playing and kept fighting, and really just proud of how we played tonight and how we handled things, how we just kind of went about our business and just stretched it out there.
Will Stokes, he's so elusive. How important is he to your team and what you're able to do?
Yeah, he's ringing the bell for us, so we're going to keep getting, we try to give it to him. But you got to look at a lot of little things that are going on. We got a lot of guys up front that are blocking. Jalen Holmes is making plays out wide, which is keeping people out of the box a little bit. We made a nice completion right there to William Bergreen. So we got a lot of guys that are doing their part. William's getting a lot of credit right now that he deserves, but we got a lot of guys that are doing their, filling their roles.
Another big game in that same region took place at Madison County tonight. North Jackson and Madison County squared off tonight. Two teams fighting to stay in the playoff hunt. We pick up in the second. Madison County looking to score before the half. Ramiro Tao's pass is intercepted. The Chiefs with the big stand, and they get a nice return as well. That interception would end up turning into 6. Dalton Morris looking to pass, finds a wide open Myron Walton. He's down the sideline, cuts across the field, and that would set up a score for North Jackson as they get on the board to make things 7-6. Then just before the half, check out this play from the big man, Brogan West, rumbling and stumbling all the way down to the 4-yard line. The Wildcats would not get on the board on the play, however, and in the end, North Jackson gets the massive road win 2015 over region foe Madison County.
Well, just down the road at New Hope tonight, the Indians were hosting Westminster in an all-county rivalry. We'll pick this one up in the second quarter. Westminster ahead 3-0, but New Hope would take a lead. The Indians looking to pass, and Wyatt Bolden throws one up for Javion Barnes, and check out this catch. He goes up and gets it. New Hope on the board 7-3. But here come the Wildcats. Jack Porter-Williams with the run for New Hope, but he loses the ball. TJ Carter scoops it up and gets a nice return as well. And that would lead to this score for Westminster. Brendan Mush drops back and finds Isaiah Lattimore, and he's in for the score. Westminster back on top 9-7. But the Wildcats wouldn't stop there. Brandon Mush scrambles, keeps this one for himself, finds open field, running right at you. Look at that. He's in there. Westminster take a 16-7 lead into the break. And in the end, Westminster Christian takes it 31-28. And it was a busy night in 4A Region 7. Here's another score. Two winless teams looking for a win, and DAR gets their first win of the season, 14-10.
All right, well, let's go ahead and stick to Madison County tonight. We'll move to Buckhorn. The Bucks were hoping to build on a 4-2 record, and they were hosting a winless Columbia team tonight. And I was at this game, a great crowd on hand for this one as the Bucks look to add to their win record. But Columbia, they made some big plays early. What a night for Devin Lee coming up with a big tackle here to get the game started. But Buckhorn would drive down the field, hand off to Terrence Robinson, and he just waltzes into the end zone to put the Bucks on the board 7-0. But Columbia, they would strike right back. Just because they haven't won a game doesn't mean they don't have some players now. Sebastian Taylor catches this one. He's gone. The Bucks, they would catch up to him and make a stand. And that goal line stand would lead to this. C.J. Hatcher with the perfect pass to Tyler Zawacki. And this kid's gone. See you later. Touchdown Bucks. They run away with this one at home. 45-8 on homecoming. All right, here's a look at some more 6A Region 8 scores for you. Hazel Green in action at Muscle Shoals tonight, and the Trojans stay undefeated 56-6, while Coleman continues their impressive season with a win over Decatur tonight in a close one, 17-14.
Well, at Sparkman High School tonight, the Senators were in action at home, hosting Bob Jones in a big 7A Region 4 matchup. Brothers battling it out, Kelvis White and Bob Jones taking on LaRon White and Sparkman on the Senators' turf. Sparkman just had a touchdown called back because of holding. They try again. Luke Schomburg on the keeper. First down this drive, back in motion. It's going to be Schomburg again. Here he is right now finding Davon Agee to gain a few yards, and the Senators knocking at the door. Schomburg was not going to stop this time. He takes the handoff and gives it to Jaden Thomas. They don't get the yardage they need, and the Patriots defense holds off Sparkman, but Matthew Rozier on the next play. He's there to get them the 6. Sparkman takes a 7-zip lead in the end of the first. And then the Patriots leave with the 25-21 victory. What a wild night of high school football, but it's time we call our first timeout.
But don't go anywhere. We are just getting started here on Big Game Friday night.
Coming up after this, we talk our rivalry game of the week, Athens in action at Hartselle in a 6A Region 8 battle. You ever see a golden eagle fight a tiger? We got it for you next.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday nights. Go!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
Watching Big Game Friday night. Go!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night, everyone. Let's turn our attention now to our rivalry game of the week between Athens and Hartselle.
A quick trip down I-65 for Athens. Let's bring in our analyst, Antonio Macbeth, to preview this one. Antonio, you've been tuned into this one all week.
That's right, because it is a big one. You got Athens, who's been really battle-tested. They've played a ton of teams ranked in the top 10 in the state in 6 and 7A, and the same story goes. They've got to get their star, Jaden Jude, going, right? He's the quarterback. He's a big-time playmaker. But on the defensive side of the ball, they have to pressure John Blackwood because Hartselle has a pretty good quarterback themselves. And they have to know where Isaiah Fletcher is at all times. That dude is a big playmaker in the pass game if they can't affect John Blackwood. As for Hartselle, they have to get the ball to the Fletcher brothers, whether that be Isaiah or his brother in the backfield. And then they have to buy time for Blackwood to make plays. And then finally, it's easier said than done, but you have to contain Jaden Jude for Athens. Like I said, the dude is an absolute playmaker who switched over from receiver to quarterback this year.
All right, well, let's see how this one ended up playing out at Hartselle. We'll go there where the Tigers, they were leading the Athens Golden Eagles 24-19 in the third quarter. Athens with the ball in the red zone, and guess what? Jaden Jude, he's going to fight his way into the end zone for the score. Athens would go for 2 as well. Jude again, this time to put Athens in the lead 27-24 in what was a dogfight. Hartselle would answer back, hand off to RJ Fletcher, and he's got a big game before he's finally pushed out of bounds. Hartselle in the red zone now. Quarterback Jack Smith keeps it, takes it in for the score to put Hartselle back on top. The Tigers get a massive win at home to stay undefeated over region rival Athens 45-34. That's your final. We caught up with head coach Brian Moore after the exciting game.
They're a good football team, and coach had them ready, and they played really well, and we had a hard time with them, but proud of our kids too, man, the way they rallied, the way they finished. Well, it'd be another region opponent, a really good one that I assume is undefeated. I don't know, but Muscle Shoals is really good, and we'll have to go there. It'll be a big night.
So a massive win for Hartselle. They remain undefeated. They move to 6-0 on the year. You heard Coach there. They take on an undefeated Muscle Shoals next week.
So, Antonio, were you surprised by this one, or did you see this coming?
Look, Athens is a really good football team, better than their record suggests, but not surprised at all. Hartselle answers when they have to on offense. They have playmakers everywhere, and they're led by a great quarterback. So it's not surprising at all they won this one.
All right. Well, thanks, Antonio. We'll check back with you in a few minutes when we talk some college football at the end of the show. We'll see you then.
Well, how about some 7A action? James Clemens moves to 7-0 with a nail-biting victory over Florence. The final 45-42 in that one.
Wow.
And here's how the rest of 7A Region 4 did tonight. Grissom on the road at Austin, while last night Huntsville gets the big win over Albertville 56-21. All right, well, let's shift our attention now down to 4A. Some really good teams in Region 8.
Yeah, that's right. Central still undefeated. They were taking on West Morgan tonight, and it was homecoming tonight at West Morgan. The Rebels, they were looking to hand Central a loss, and they would get some momentum before halftime. Jackson Stutz with the massive hit in the backfield. He forces the fumble, but Central would strike right back with the big play of their own. Ethan Holt coming up with the interception on the sideline, and then in the second half, West Morgan would drive down the field. Braxton Peters was trying to will his team to a win tonight, fighting off defenders for a big first down there. Then later on the drive, more Peters takes a lick there, but it does set up this score for the Rebels. Jalen Fletcher dives his way in for the score as West Morgan adds to their total, and they pull off the upset at home 27-24 over undefeated Central Florence.
In that same region, the other undefeated team, Brooks, in action at West Limestone. West Limestone pumped up for a big region matchup with the Brooks Lions. Second quarter, Brooks looking to add to their 7-6 lead. Kyler Mertz, does that, jumping right in there for the keeper. Brooks gets the ball right back and marches right down the field. Mertz again on the keeper. He takes it to the house, 21-6. Brooks looked incredible tonight. West Limestone trying to score before the half, but the Brooks defense having none of that. We'll show you that right here. Maddox Harden with the pick and the return as the Brooks Lions remain undefeated, holding off a pesky West Limestone team on the road, 27-20. Here's a look at some other 4A Region 8 scores. Deschler and Wilson faced off, two teams desperate for a win, and Deschler takes this one 49-6, while Priceville moves to 5-1 with a 58-43 win over Rogers.
All right, well, over in the Shoals, we had a big matchup between two teams in 3A Region 8 that are fighting for a potential playoff spots. Phil Campbell gets a big win over Colbert Heights, 42-7. A big victory there for Phil Campbell. And speaking of 3A Region 8, how about Lauderdale County? They remain undefeated, a perfect 7-0 after tonight's win over Clements, while in the East Lawrence Elkmont game, that ends in a 58-28 Eagles victory for East Lawrence. All right, well, let's go ahead and take that second timeout, but we still have plenty of more action to get to.
That's right. When Big Game Friday Night returns, we take a trip out to Sand Mountain. Big Game Friday Night returns right after this.
Stay tuned for more Big Game Friday night on WAAY 31. Go Raiders!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
You're watching Big Game Friday night on WAAY 31.
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We've hit just about every area in North Alabama, but we haven't yet talked about Sand Mountain so far.
That's right. Let's head to Boaz, where tonight the Pirates were taking on a talented Fairview team. Let's jump in tied 0-0 in the first. That's when Parker Martin gets the snap, finds Jameson Goebel open 20 yards downfield, but Corbin Pitts says, "Give me that," jumps in and makes an insanely athletic move to hold on for the interception. So now it's the Pirates' turn to take some reps. Now Carter Lambert slips this one to Elijah Jacobs, who's caught up in a pile of Aggies, but he ends up in the end zone anyway. So he fooled us all on that one. That makes it 6-zip, but the Aggies won't go down easy. The keeper from Martin there zigzagging around the Pirates, and no one can bring him down. Touchdown ties the game there. And eventually Fairview takes this one 21-18, the final.
All right, well, just up the road at Guntersville, a 5-1 Wildcats team. They were taking on a winless Sardis team in Guntersville. Of course, they look dominant tonight. We picked this one up. Guntersville leading 49-6. Sardis trying to get something started, but his pass is intercepted by Ben Biddle, scrambling around, refusing to go down. Then in the third, Guntersville adds on to their lead. Cole McCarty, quick handoff to Logan Pate around the pile up and dodges his way into the end zone for the score. 55-6 was the score then. Guntersville, they dominate at home tonight, 63-6, the final over Sardis. Here's another 5A Region 7 score for you. Crossville, they were looking for their first win of the year, taking on West Point, but the Lions fall 43-6 in this one.
Shifting our attention now to 2A, big game in the 2A Region 8 between the defending state champion Mars Hill and 5-1 Colbert County. The state champs make a statement, winning a close one on the road, 25-20. In that same region, Lexington in action against Hatton, and the Golden Bears leave with the 42-8 win, while Red Bay was in action against Section, taking it 34-20.
All right, we'll stick to 2A, but moving to Region 7. Section in action tonight against Sheffield. Section looking to get things going in the first quarter. Section with the ball deep in their own territory. Quarterback Jacob Cooper passes deep, but his pass is going to be intercepted by Falkville's Dawson Fowler. But Falkville would be unable to score on the drive. So Section ball again, quarterback handoff to Cameron Summerfield. He takes it deep into Blue Devil territory before he's finally driven down. Then on the same drive, snaps high. Jacob Cooper is able to recover the fumble, but loses a lot of yards. That drive comes to an end, and the Lions, they go on to win 21-6. All right, let's stay in Region 7. Pigsca was at North Sand Mountain tonight and left with a 44-20 victory, while Whitesburg Christian was at Tana. They fall on the road 47-12. Another score from Region 7. Eider having a good season. They were 4-2 entering tonight, and they'll leave this one 5-2 after they get a big win over Victory Christian 36-7. All right, well, it's already time that we take our final timeout of the night.
But when Big Game Friday night returns, we talk college football. Big games this weekend for both Alabama and Auburn.
You're watching Big Game Friday Night. Go Lexi!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
You're watching Big Game Friday Night. Go Lexi!
It's the McCurry Van and Car Rental Big Game Friday night.
All right, welcome back into Big Game Friday night, everyone. Let's finish things up with some college football.
Let's bring back Antonio for this one. Antonio, the Crimson Tide have a big matchup tomorrow inside Bryant-Denny Stadium as Lane Kiffin and the Rebels come to town.
Yeah, it's about the only offense that's good enough to score on Alabama's defense consistently. But the problem is, I don't know if Ole Miss's defense is good enough to keep up with Alabama. If they do surprise us and get some stops late, we could be in for an interesting one late, but I expect some fireworks nonetheless.
Yeah, Alabama 2-score favorites in that one. While in Baton Rouge tomorrow, Auburn begins SEC play against LSU. Brian Harsin with his first SEC game.
Yeah, I mean, this one, they haven't won there since 1999, so that's a big, tough first SEC test for Brian Harsin, going to a place that Auburn hasn't won since 1999. Better shot than you think, though.
All right, thanks, Antonio, and also a big thank you to our radio sponsors before we go.
Yeah, WZYP, WRAB, getting all of those scores in for us tonight to make this show possible. And a big shout out to everyone that helped us get the show together tonight. Our shooters, everyone back in production, from editing, engineering, a lot of different elements go into this show. And we just want to thank everyone out there that helped make this possible. And of course, a big thank you to everyone that tuned in tonight here to Big Game Friday night, week 6 of the high school football season. We're almost we are halfway through the regular season already, Max.
Absolutely. I mean, who's not excited about that?
Playoffs right around the corner. Well, we'll wrap things up here on Big Game Friday night. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in tonight. We'll finish the same way that we always do here on Big Game Friday night with your Big Game Friday night top lights. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching a special presentation of WAAY 31 Sports.